In a quiet village in Israel, a woman long unable to have children was visited by a shining angel. "You will have a son," the angel said, "dedicated to God from birth. No razor must ever touch his head. He will begin to save Israel from their enemies." And just as the angel said, Samson was born, a child of promise, destined for greatness. As Samson grew, something unusual stirred in him. One day, walking through a peaceful vineyard, he heard a lion's roar. Instead of fear, calm filled him. God's spirit moved through him, and with amazing strength, he gently wrestled the lion away. It was then he realized, his strength was not his own, but a gift from God. Years later, Samson fell in love with a Philistine woman. Though it troubled his parents, he felt sure it was part of God's plan. At the wedding feast, he told a clever riddle to the guests. But the Philistines were not amused. They tricked his bride into revealing the answer. Heartbroken and angry, Samson walked away, the beginning of many tensions between him and the Philistines. When the Philistines harmed those he cared about, Samson acted. He tied torches to the tails of foxes and released them into their fields, not to harm, but to send a message. Later, when surrounded by enemies, he stood alone with only a donkey jawbone in hand. But instead of violence, imagine him standing tall, a symbol of defiance and divine strength, causing the enemy to back away in fear. In time, Samson's heart was captured again, by Delilah. She coaxed him daily, until at last, he told her his secret, his uncut hair, the sign of his vow to God. That night, as he slept, she gently cut his hair. Samson awoke to find his strength gone. The Philistines captured him, and darkness filled his eyes. Blinded and humbled, Samson was led into a Philistine temple filled with laughter and mockery. He stood between two great pillars and whispered one final prayer. "Lord, strengthen me one more time." With quiet resolve, he pressed against the pillars. The temple trembled, the crowd scattered in shock. Light poured in as the building opened to the sky. Samson gave his life, not in anger, but in peace, completing the purpose he was born for. Samson's life was full of struggle, strength, and surrender. But even in failure, God's purpose was fulfilled. He was a judge, a warrior, and in the end, a servant who trusted God one last time.